So I was talking to my cousin last night and we had a really interesting conversation about budgeting and something that I know that she's done for a while, which I'm going to start to incorporate. It's so smart. And actually, I know for a fact from watching Ms. Gale on TV, she encourages her clients to do the same thing. So it's a little bit stricter and it's a little bit more rigid. If you're new to budgeting, this might be a little bit more difficult for you, but it's really not that bad. You don't have to cut yourself off from everything completely, but if you do have extra money after you get paid, you pay yourself first, treat yourself, right? You put aside for whatever bills you need and then your savings. I know I'm making it sound like there's a lot of money left over because in this day and age, most people have nothing left over at the end, right? But what I'm saying is instead of aimlessly or recklessly spending money every day, what you do is, and this is what she does, she's smart. She puts aside a certain amount of money on a gas card for the week, $100 or however much you think you need. You need, not want, you need. Her coffee, she said that she'll put $20 for the week or $20 for the 2 week period. And when it's done, it's done. Gas, same thing. When it's done, it's done. Because you know how much gas you need to do your regular errands, to get you to work or to the bus station or the train station or wherever it is you go to your kids' daycare, to their school, sports and activities, anything outside of that sometimes. And there's nothing wrong with just going for a drive. I love fall drives. I love winter drives because I love to drive around the neighborhood and see, the Christmas lights and stuff like that. But there's certain things that I've realized that I don't need to be out of my house all of the time. Sorry. Excuse me. If you're big on spending, clothes shopping, and you're used to spending, let's just say $400 or $500 a month, try to limit yourself down to $300 or $200. You don't have to cut yourself off completely, but scale back. Scale back in certain areas so that you can either save that money, invest that money, pay down on debts, or put it towards a bill, especially if you have a habit of partially paying your bills and spending recklessly in other areas, right? The other thing I was going to mention about budgeting, just give me 1 second. Obviously, living within your means or just below your means is important. Again, that's almost impossible nowadays. If you look at the rate of minimum wage here in Ontario, minimum wage, I believe, is $14 an hour. So that means that someone working minimum wage has to work for a whole hour to make $14. But when you look at what you can buy for $14, they don't equate, they don't add up. So this is why it's even more so important to try to stick to some sort of budget so that you're not finding yourself feeling overwhelmed or in debt. And I'm by no way wagging my finger at anybody because, like I said, the reason I wanted to do Monday Money Matters is because finances is something that I have honestly really taking an interest in. And it is because, and actually when we start talking about credit versus debt or debit versus credit, I'll get into it more as to why I really started taking an interest in money and seeing where my money is growing and wanting to grow my money and wanting to save my money better, and why it's important for me to pay down even the business debts that I have. And the only way that I'm going to be able to reach those goals is to stick to some sort of a budget, right? So I'm not going to keep you guys too long this time. It's very straightforward budgeting. You have to do it in a way that feels comfortable for you. The idea is you have to be realistic when you're setting your budget, because if you're too strict, you're not going to stick with it. That's why I said it's easier to ease your way in. Start slow. Like I said, if you're used to spending $400 or $500 a month on clothes and shoes, try to scale back to $200-$300. Don't create unrealistic goals for yourself, because ultimately what you want is to be successful with your budgeting, successful with your positive money habits. Um, More importantly, the holidays are coming up. This is a big, 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 big reminder for everybody. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard. Everybody wants to go, especially when you have kids, you want to go over and beyond. If you have a good relationship with money, I think you figured out a way to manage the holidays without breaking your pockets and putting yourself in debt. I have made the mistake in the past when my kids were younger. My mom always made when we were younger, our Christmases were such a big deal. We always got so many gifts. So I always wanted to do the same thing for my girls, right? Lots of gifts under the tree. And there were some Christmases that I didn't have it like that. And what did I do? The biggest mistake I made was I would go out and get payday loans. And you know what the interest rate on a payday loan is. You know how hard it is to pay it back. And then it would take 2 to 3 years to pay back a loan that was initially only maybe like $900. It's insane. So I say this, I figured this out a long time ago. And I think now more so that we always make it a point, like I can honestly say I don't think the girls aren't doing without anything. They're a little bit more mature now, so their whole thing with Christmas is they love everything that the traditions that we've made or that I've made surrounding Christmas. So they look forward to our family dinners, decorating, going to tree lightings, watching Christmas movies, playing games, like doing, and I know it sounds funny because of their ages, but doing crafts. We'll see how Sienna does this year with that one. But they just love the baking, the cooking, like that sort of thing. So one thing that you can do is start new traditions. Make the holidays not just about the presents. Make it not just about the presents. The other thing you can do is, it's a little late for this year because we're almost, I think yesterday, we were 5 weeks out from Christmas. So going forward, another thing to do is start putting your money away throughout the year for Christmas. Don't try to overextend yourself in the month of December, and do not rack up credit card debt. Don't rack up any credit card debt that you cannot pay off immediately. Okay? So don't go overboard with the gifts. As you know, especially with younger kids, there is a shelf life to these things. These kids get so blown away with stuff. And then within, I would say by maybe January, February, it's kind of like tossed aside. You know how it goes. You know your kids, right? And then don't go overboard with other family members and friends and Kris Kringles. Like, get creative around the holidays. There's ways that you can save money. There's ways that you can gift. And it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be costly. It doesn't have to be anything that requires the use of a credit card. So I just wanted to remind you guys to just be really mindful of your budget over the holidays. Please don't try to blow it. Please don't get depressed if you can't do anything at all over the holidays. You can bake for friends and family. You can cook for friends and family. If you want to reach out to me, I can give you some really great budget-friendly ideas for your kids if you just don't have it like that. There's ways that you can still make their Christmas memorable without breaking the bank. Again, you can email me actually at alex.strong@gmail.com. That is Alex with 2 X's, .strong@gmail.com. What was I going to say? Yeah, email me. And please, 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 I'm so glad that you guys joined me once again for week 2. Week 2 of Monday Money Matters. Next week, we're going to be talking about debt. Week 3, we're talking about debt. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share the channel with your friends, and comment. I will see you guys Thursday for my Thursday rant, and I owe you 2 videos. 2 videos I owe you for 90 Day Fiancé review. Have a great night, guys. Bye.